Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's a Taylor Swift of women's basketball, and she's here to change the game. The Indiana Fever have gone from the WNBA's bottom feeders to the hottest ticket in town, all thanks to Clark. This 23-year-old sensation isn't just dribbling a ball. She's creating a frenzy, igniting fan excitement like a pop star spotted at a coffee shop. With her arrival, the Fever aren't just aiming for a playoff spot. They're on a mission to shake up the entire league that in many ways. The Fever have become the WNBA's most attractive free agent destination. They play in front of packed arenas every night and boast the best young player in the game. Forget the usual just-win games mentality. Indiana's out to break records and fill stadiums like never before. Meanwhile, Clark's contract is a mere drop in the bucket compared to the economic boom she's causing, with sold-out games and skyrocketing merchandise sales happening faster than you can say Taylor Swift 2.0. So how did a team that struggled to win for nearly a decade suddenly become the talk of the league? Is Caitlin Clark truly the superstar the WNBA needs, or is she just riding the hype train? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into how one rookie is flipping the script and making waves bigger than a sold-out Swift concert. But before we get into the details, don't forget to like and subscribe. You won't want to miss the twists and turns of this electrifying WNBA season. This offseason, the Indiana Fever didn't just tweak their roster, they overhauled it. After years of mediocrity, they secured a generational talent in Clark, added key supporting pieces, and handed the coaching reins to a familiar face. The Fever aren't just trying to win, they are trying to redefine the WNBA. And at the center of it all, a 23-year-old from Iowa who might just be the biggest thing to happen to women's basketball since the league's inception. But let's be clear, this isn't just about basketball. Clark isn't just a star. She's a phenomenon, a walking economy, a human turnstile, and apparently Taylor Swift 2.0, at least according to her new head coach, Stephanie White. And honestly, she's got a point. Before Clark arrived, the Fever weren't just bad, they were invisible. No playoff appearances in 8 years, a revolving door of coaches, and draft pick that never panned out left Indiana as an afterthought. Hardcore WNBA fans could barely name their starting lineup. Year after year, the team finished at the bottom, burning through rebuilds like a malfunctioning slot machine. Then came the reset. First, the Fever brought back Stephanie White, who coached the team from 2014 to 2016. White isn't just any coach. She's a Fever alum, someone who understands a franchise's past and what it takes to make them relevant again. Her return sent a clear message. Indiana wasn't here to be the league's punching bag anymore. Then came the blockbuster trade. The Fever pulled off a multi-team deal that shook up the WNBA, trading away N.A. Smith, Ty Harris, and the number 8 pick in the 2025 draft to land Sophie Cunningham from Phoenix and the number 19 pick. The trade left many people scratching their heads. Oh, and Sutta Sabley? She got shipped to Phoenix in the process, because why not add more chaos? Cunningham isn't just a shooter. She brings an edge to the team. Think of her as a perfect wingman for Clark. She's already embracing the role, even jokingly comparing herself to Sabrina Carpenter alongside Clark's Taylor Swift. I told the people upstairs I will be her Sabrina Carpenter any day to her Taylor Swift, Cunningham quipped. And just like that, the Fever's new narrative had its tagline. But let's talk money. Caitlin Clark is set to make just $78,000 in the 2025 season. Let that sink in. This is a player who, in 1 year, has likely generated tens of millions in ticket sales, sponsorships, and TV deals for the WNBA. Yet under the league's current salary structure, she earns less than some NBA rookies make in a single game. Her agent, Aaron Kane, didn't hold back when addressing this disparity. It's impossible to fully compensate Clark for what she's worth. And she's absolutely right. Fans were shocked when her salary was revealed. Some argued she should have stayed in college, where she could have earned 7 figures through nil deals. Others even joked that she could start her own league and bankrupt the WNBA. Hyperbole? Maybe. But the numbers don't lie. Clark's presence is reshaping the league's entire economic landscape. Indiana Fever games are selling out arenas they never dreamed of filling. TV ratings for women's basketball are skyrocketing, and networks are scrambling to cash in on the excitement. And let's not forget about the Fever themselves. Their season tickets are gone, merchandise sales are soaring, and for the first time in nearly a decade, the franchise is relevant again. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a movement. And now, She's being tasked with leading the WNBA into a new era. Saving the WNBA is a heavy burden for someone so young. But if anyone can handle it, it's Caitlin Clark. So, is she really Taylor Swift 2.0? Stephanie White certainly thinks so. Clark is incredibly humble, understands a bigger picture, and manages everything with grace. At first, calling her Taylor Swift 2.0 might sound like a stretch, but let's break it down. Clark has almost a cult-like following. Her mere presence sends ticket prices soaring faster than a viral cat video. She's not just playing basketball, she's carrying the entire WNBA on her back. And let's be honest, that's a lot of pressure. Despite the constant media buzz around her, Clark handles the spotlight like a pro, much like Taylor Swift. And here's the kicker, Clark doesn't seem fazed by the chaos. At just 23 years old, she's dealing with expectations that would make most people buckle under the pressure. She's not just representing herself, she's the face of a movement. And that's no small feat, but Indiana knows they can't let her burn out. White has made it clear that protecting Clark's mental well-being is a top priority. The Fever are treating her like a once-in-a-lifetime asset, which means they are focused on guarding her peace. They are managing her exposure carefully to make sure she doesn't get overwhelmed by the whirlwind of fame and expectations. After all, if the Fever's future relies on Clark, they'd better ensure she isn't running on empty by year 3. We want to see her shine, not fizzle out. So, is Caitlin Clark really Taylor Swift 2.0? Maybe she is, and if that's the case, we're all here for the concert. Clark isn't walking into Indiana alone. She's got some serious firepower by her side, and that's where things get exciting. Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year, is all in on this revamped squad. We want to play fast. We want to run. But most importantly, we want to win games, Boston declared. And let's be real, that's the name of the game. The Fever haven't sniffed the playoffs since 2016, but while Clark is a star attraction, she's got some serious talent surrounding her. Boston is a dominant force in the paint, and then there's Kelsey Mitchell. She could have taken her talents elsewhere in free agency, but she decided to stick around in Indiana because she sees the magic brewing. Mitchell is a kind of scorer that defenses can't ignore, and with her on the court, Clark can breathe a little easier. Less pressure on Clark means more open looks, and that's a recipe for success. This isn't just about surviving anymore. Indiana is gunning for greatness. With Clark, Boston, and Mitchell in the mix, the Fever are ready to turn things around and make a serious playoff push. It's about time, right? Let's see if they can finally bring the heat and show the league what they are made of. And then there's Boston. Yes, that Boston. Speaking of WNBA expansion, the league is growing faster than anyone expected. And now Boston wants in. A group led by none other than Donnie Wahlberg. Yes, from New Kids on the Block, and former NBA player Michael Carter-Williams is making a serious push to bring a team to the city. Boston Women's Basketball Partners is leading the charge, and if their bid goes through, we could see the WNBA expand to 16 teams by 2028. But hold up, it won't come cheap. Cleveland reportedly shelled out a record-breaking $50 million for their expansion fee, double what Portland paid in 2024. Ouch! Still, the demand is definitely there. When the Connecticut Sun played a sold-out game in Boston against the LA Sparks last year, it showed that the city is hungry for a team. Now, Clark and the Fever are set to battle it out against the Sun at TD Garden in August. Coincidence? Not a chance. Boston is watching closely. If the Fever's momentum keeps building, the WNBA could be on the brink of its biggest expansion era yet. From college superstar to WNBA savior, Clark's journey is unfolding in real time, and the world is watching every second of it. She's changing the way women's basketball is perceived, breaking financial models that were never designed for someone like her, and proving that the WNBA isn't just ready for a superstar, it needs one. If she's really Taylor Swift 2.0, then Indiana Fever tickets just became front row seats to the hottest show in town. Caitlin Clark is shaking things up in the WNBA like a soda can before a summer barbecue. The Fever are no longer the league's best-kept secret, at least not in a good way. 2. The Indiana Fever are now the hottest topic in women's basketball. With Caitlin Clark's arrival, they've gone from being invisible to must-see TV. It's like they flipped a switch. Suddenly, fans are lining up for tickets like they're waiting for the latest iPhone release. But let's be real, it's not just about her skills on the court. Clark is a marketing dream. She's selling out arenas, boosting merchandise sales, and drawing in TV viewers like a moth to a flame. It almost feels unfair to other players. She's the main character in a movie, while everyone else is background noise. And don't even get me started on her salary. She's making $7,000 to $8,000 while generating millions. That's like finding a penny while your friend finds a gold BA. Is this pressure too much for a 23-year-old? Maybe. But Clark seems to be handling it like a pro, balancing fame and expectations without breaking a sweat. The Fever are treating her like the rare gem she is, making sure she doesn't burn out before she even gets started. In the end, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. She's redefining what it means to be a superstar in women's sports. And if the Fever play their cards right, they might just ride her coattails to a championship. So here's a bold statement. Caitlin Clark isn't just a future of the WNBA. She's a revolution it desperately needed. And that's a wrap. So what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark the game changer the WNBA has been waiting for? Or is all this hype just a flash in the pan? Can the Indiana Fever really turn their luck around with her on the team? Or are they setting themselves up for disappointment? Also, how do you feel about her salary compared to the impact she's making? Should the league rethink its pay structure for superstars like her? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest WNBA buzz, drama, and deep dives. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Catch you all in the next one.